Good afternoon, Peekskill. I'm here today with Mayor McKenzie and Chief Dylewski of the city of Peekskill. Chief Dylewski has 21 years with the city of Peekskill, and we're very happy to have somebody who cares as much as he does about the community. I did want to say that the city of Peekskill was very saddened and knows that we need to give an immediate response to the shooting that occurred this past week. We are meeting with community leaders and the police department about what this city can do and what this community can do with the city's support to fight teenage violence. That's going to be very important to us. Mayor?
I would agree. Our youth are very, very important, and what we're seeing now, we want to make sure that we can curtail. There's some of our youth here that really need some assistance and need our support, and we are dedicated here in the city of Peekskill of doing that. So we are looking forward to working with our schools, with our police department, with some youth advocates in our community to make sure that we do what's right for our teens.
And Chief, do you want to give us your perspective on how we as a community can respond to violence and what efforts the police department already takes and hopes to take in the future about violence?
Well, one of the things we've always done is we've always worked with the community hand in hand to try to avoid violence and become a part of the community itself, be another member of it. We've been doing this for years with all our different programs, whether it's DARE, GREAT, the Youth Academy, National Night Out, our school resource officers in the schools, our Youth Academy, and just all these different projects we do. We have officers going to community meetings, whether it's in the housing authority or it's over at some private apartment complexes and stuff, so that we try to stay in touch and try to make ourselves approachable and reachable by the community.
You know, I think it's worth you talking to us a little bit more about the DARE program specifically, because the day after the shooting, I took a walk up to the location where it happened, and as I was walking through the city, I was thinking, like, what can we do as a city about this, and how can we be more involved? And as I'm walking by, I see your police officer with our fire department out with children from Hillcrest School, really engaging them and giving them good role models. But you have specifically had lots of experience with the DARE program. What kinds of things have you seen as a success from the relationship that you've had with Peekskill youth through the DARE program?
Well, one of the things you learn very quickly is DARE is a program that reaches out to everybody in the community, not just the kids. It's a bridge so that the kids have an ability to talk to the cops and get to know the cops and get to know us as human beings, not just as police officers that just go out and enforce the law. So what tends to happen is the kids get so used to their DARE officer that they'll start confiding with them, they'll start talking to them, they'll feel comfortable with them. And when they start with that first officer, then it starts to transcend and they become more comfortable with other officers because we all dress the same and the same thing. So they'll start going out and talking to the other officers on the street. The other thing that you also find is the kids will go home and tell their parents and their family members what a great time they had with their DARE officer, the different activities they've done, the different programs they've done together, like you said, going over to the firehouse. And that'll bring a trust between the family itself and the police officers. I saw that firsthand as a DARE officer from my many years of teaching DARE myself, where the family members will come, the parents will come and say, hey, I need to talk to you about something. I want to discuss something with you. This is a concern for me. If my kid trusts you, then I trust you.
What I enjoy most about the academy is every year there's new people. You experience new things with law enforcement and you get introduced to a lot new officers, you know them now, and it's just very nice. And you meet new friends, you're more outgoing. After this academy, I'm pretty sure a lot of the kids that were quiet are going to be more outgoing.
I do want to be a police officer, and I heard about this opportunity in this academy, so I thought this would be a great bonding experience. And like coming into this, like I'm not from this town, not knowing anybody, which it's kind of, I was like worried about it at first. I was like, but the academy and the officers and even the participants in this, they make it great for everyone. Not anyone's left out. Everyone feels safe, and we're just a great community for this.
I joined the police academy because my mom told me there's gonna be a police camp. I was like, I don't want to go, like really. And then when I came to the orientation, they told me they're gonna go to the city, they're gonna have bike trips, or they're gonna go to the park, and a lot of other fun stuff. Mainly I learned that today we're doing the drug thing, so to not do drugs and be safe around police and don't do anything bad you're not supposed to do.
I really learned to appreciate what they do. They risk their lives, and you have to be really professional as in the process.
Mayor, I know that you have had a lot of past experience with the Kiley Center and working with youth groups and engaging the city's youth. Where do you see the city of Peekskill needing to turn most of its resources community-wide in a way to go against the grain of violence with teenagers?
So, as a city, I think we do a whole lot already. I mean, we spend a lot of resources. I think where we could do better is that group that's maybe just out of high school, still in that, before they're finding themselves, that 18 to 20, 22-year-old, and finding those kids who may have not had the direction when they were in school or when they got out of school to know how to better themselves, how to get a job, how to maybe get their Social Security card and not have those things, and kind of guide them along. So I think that will be an area that we can really work with some of the teams that we have here. And then maybe working with them hands-on and then pushing them through the systems at the Youth Bureau with the Emily program where she has kids that are working. But to really kind of nurture them, the nurturing that they may have missed in a safe environment, and then moving forward from there.
So, Chief, you also were thinking of bringing back, or you are going to bring back a program into the city of Peekskill that we've had once before. Could you talk to us about the GREAT program and tell us what the GREAT program means?
So as everyone's familiar with DARE is a 5th grade program in Hillcrest School. This is a 6th grade program specially designed for the middle school. It's called GREAT, and it stands for Gang Resistance Education and Training. We've had it for many years. We unfortunately got a little bit away from it because of the pandemic. And basically what this is the next stage of us interacting and dealing with the kids and continuing to stay a part of their lives. And this one is a little different because now we're focusing on making healthy choices and decisions, but it's not only gang activity, it's about going out, knowing how to make the right decisions, being put into situations where you may not have the ability to sit there and have exactly right or wrong. You may have peer pressure and other things that are going on. And it really gives a situation where the kids are learning about other people their age and what they're going through, and then they have to make the decisions themselves. So whereas 5th grade, we're more giving them the lesson plans, this is where we're giving them the scenario, and they're coming back and giving us the answers of what they think is right and wrong.
Excellent. So I think I hear that we need to really address that pre-teen age group as well as that post-teen age group, along with keeping your SROs in the school system and keeping their contact with all children in Peekskill as they grow up here. We're hoping to have a good community discussion tonight in a small way in order to set up some times for a larger community discussion. And we have asked to engage some members of the Peekskill school system and talk to them about what kids need most. What do you hope to get out of that kind of a discussion, Mayor?
An action plan, something that we can follow. So this is not going to happen overnight, and we're not being, thoughtless in thinking that, but to actually put an action plan together with community stakeholders, people that these children know and respect and can gravitate to actually put a plan together to move forward so that we can avoid some of the things that could possibly happen. I think we're fortunate in this community that it is a community city, and we don't have a lot of the issues, but we don't want a lot of the issues either. And I think this is an effort to really keep things from excelling and actually helping these children figure some of these things out. And I think getting an action plan together would be the first goal.
And that's great. Yeah, I definitely think that we need a strong action plan, and we need to work together as a community so that we're working in concert with the police, who are working in concert with youth programs and parents at the same time. So it's going to take a lot of partners to make sure that we can provide that healthy atmosphere. But one of the things that Peekskill does very well, I think, is its police department and their already engagement with the community. I have noticed that some of your newer hires have all had a great passion to come work in an urban environment, and that they all are young and bright and interested in making strong connections with the youth in the city and come from the same background as lots of our youth do. And I'm hopeful that they're going to be able to turn that experience into good relationships with our youth. Can you talk about some of the newer people that have started on with Peekskill Police Department?
Of course. So some of our new hires I've always been a community policing minded individual through my entire police career. And that's what I wanted to bring to our community. I wanted to bring people that wanted to be here and wanted to be community oriented as well. And we've been very fortunate with our last several hires. They've all come here wanting to work in this environment. We've had very fortunate that they've come from different departments that have had more interaction with youth, whether it's been through the college system, the SUNY system, or through the different municipalities where they're from. And they've all come with the same idea. They want to come here and they want to help and become a part of the community as well and get involved. So we've been very fortunate with that. And we've also been very fortunate that we've gotten a younger department. So they have more of a mindset of what a lot of these young people are going through. So they can identify and be basically role models to them as well, because they've just gone through those same experiences.
Good. Well, Peekskill has a lot of work cut out for it, but I think we've got the right talent in place, and we're very hopeful that Mayor, our community, you, and our police chief can all work together on this and get a good outcome.
Absolutely. I want to go back to last week. I'm sorry I wasn't here, but we know that last week was Police Week, and so we want to make sure that we acknowledge our department. We did post things out there, but from the city, we really want to say thank you very much to you and the department for everything that you do for our city. We wouldn't have the city without you guys, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you.